Yeah, that's me, climbing over barbed wire. I'm really not supposed to be here, but I just couldn't stay away. You see that house there in the distance, that old farmhouse? They call it Brukel. It's where my grandmother grew up. Sure, that was a long time ago and the world has changed so much since then, but that farmhouse? It pretty much stayed the same. It was left behind, abandoned. Now, I really don't know any more details, but I do know a lot of its stories. My grandmother made sure I did. Tales of a time gone by that absolutely fascinated me all my life. So much even that this summer, I decided to visit the old place. To take some pictures. Who knows, maybe I could bring some of my grandmother's memories back to life.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Indie Direct, where we look at nothing but indie titles and give them that sweet, sweet loving that they need. I'm Ghost, and I got a special one coming for you today. But before we jump into that, we're mixing the formula up a little bit. We're trying to figure out what you guys, as the viewers, like to see from us. So if you guys like what we're doing with this video, leave a like. Hey, comment down below to see if this is what you want, and we'll continue to do that. But always hit that subscribe button. Now let's jump into it. Brukel, released November 3rd and goes for $10, is a first-person exploration game based on the actual memories of a 92-year-old grandmother told in her own voice, taking pictures of various items around the home, and she will explain the items and what they were used for or whose room it was. This mechanic is the main mechanic of the game, and it's a wonderful surprise. Items that were used back then and the explanation she provides can make you sit back and think about what you have today and remember that it's not always been around and how they substituted.
Dat was een schoenkamer. En daar stond een Lovense stoof in. Daar kon rond zitten. Zo langwerpige met een pot. En dat je voeten kon opzetten. Maar de Lovense die kon echt een plets verwermen. Hè. Maar dat geen chafazel.
And this is what the developer Bob DeShutter was wanting when asked the question if the game is meant to bridge the age gap of gamers or to preserve her accounts and to educate. Bob stated, both. First, the idea is very much about bridging intergenerational gaps. Reminiscing is often joked about, but when you listen to your grandparents, you can learn the most amazing stories about them. I certainly have always been fascinated in my grandmother's, and hopefully she will now inspire people across the world. With that, it also overlaps with education, as her story strongly influenced my worldviews for the better. Her stories add a lot of detail and nuances to what you would get from the media when it comes to war stories. For example, you always think that the English are good guys and the Germans are the bad guys, and while that's a definitive case for a lot of stories, she also had stories about how a German soldier saved half her family and how an English officer got drunk and almost killed his grandfather. End quote.
Vanmorgen zijn we door naar het melken in ons veld naar de koe. Waar dat was, like 7 uur. En dan die van de kolonie, hè, de naaste, die moest altijd helpen het melken dragen. En die zei zo in één keer, naast te zien ze zitten, we komen alle
What year was that? I don't remember recording that.
While going through the game, your character begins to have visions and experiences what the grandmother went through during some of the darkest times in the world's recent history. As Bob stated above, his grandmother found trouble and salvation in both factions of the war, giving us more of the gray area than what books and media would portray. This is what makes this game great. It's not something to make you feel accomplished, to beat the main boss, or to find the full story. It's just her memories as a teenager, and Bob DeShutter has coined the phrase gamenissing for this type of storytelling. It's something inspirational, to be able to bring your elders' memories back to life so they could see it again, or for you to experience it for the first time. As stated in his editorial piece, link in the description below, quote, "It is one thing to learn about history in a classroom, but as any visitor of a living museum or historic site can tell you, a fantastic way to learn is to make a personal connection." Overall, this is an experience I would recommend for all to play. The story is one to hear, and the explanation of all the numerous items are quite interesting. For the price, you're getting your weight in gold of everything I've already said. Only negative that I could pull from the game if I had to would be the occasional slow movement when you're walking around the house, but this is such a small thing that I'm really reaching for straws. For the type of game it is, it's done beautifully, and Bob is wanting to continue this game-and-nissing style. He is currently looking for more stories he can tell, and hopes that this inspires more developers to find influence in this style and make more. And as the old saying goes, reality is stranger than fiction.
En dat is dan gelijk wel een noemen, hè, cuisineren. Dat is echt zo'n stoof, daar je moet mee koken, hè. Want veel warmte geeft hij niet af.
En waar waren die schalen voor?
Die schoon, wel, dat kon er van alles zitten, dat moest warm blijven. Ik zal zeggen, dat itakaat is, dat zit erin en dat wordt warm, hè. Hier heb je een microgolf, want toen was dat al gewoon niet, hè. Maar hier het ook warm.
Thank you for watching for the end of the video. I hope this was what you were looking for, and I can again not stress enough that this was a fantastic game. I don't think we've ever really gone over very much about what this channel is, and I'm hoping this will reach at least a few people. We're just a couple of guys who really just want to get indie developers the chance that some major journalist places won't give them. They put their blood and they put their souls into these games, and you can tell when they do. And for even just maybe a handful of people to actually see it would definitely make our day, and I know it would make the developers' days. So as I said in the beginning, this is a change of format for this channel. We're still trying to find our groove and what would interest you guys. So if you do like the way that this one is panned out and that you'd want more of that, either leave a like or even a comment down below. Hopefully you'll subscribe. I would really like that. And hopefully we can make this channel something that can be a voice for indie developers. So I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.